Something strange happens every Aries season, and it's about to begin. 8 things you need to know. Aries season has arrived, and with it comes a force you can't ignore. A shift so powerful it will challenge everything you think you know about yourself. Your energy, your mindset, your very path in life, it's all being set in motion. Aries season isn't just a transition, it's a wildfire. It's fierce, fast and relentless, pushing you toward growth whether you're ready or not. No more overthinking, no more clinging to the past. This is the season of fearless action, where the old version of you fades and a bolder, unstoppable self takes the lead. Have you felt unexpected emotions, sudden opportunities, or an unshakable urge for change? That's not random. It's the universe demanding your transformation. Welcome to the Journey of Wisdom, where we decode the signs and help you navigate what's coming next. Here are 8 things you must know before Aries season reshapes your world. Number 1. The massive energy shift is happening right now. The Aries season is here, and with it comes a shift so powerful that it demands your attention. This is not just any seasonal transition, it's a defining moment, a cosmic turning point that urges you to make a choice. March 20th marks the spring equinox, a time when light and dark stand in perfect balance. But balance is not the lesson here. This year, Aries season brings a challenge, a fiery, undeniable push toward transformation. It's as if the universe itself is presenting you with a choice: remain in the comfort of what you know, or step into the unknown, where your true potential awaits. And this is no ordinary choice. The path you take now will carve out your future in ways you can't yet see. As the Buddha once said, there are only 2 mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way and not starting. Right now, you stand at a cosmic crossroads, and standing still is not an option. The energy of Aries is pure fire, the spark of new beginnings, the force that breaks stagnation. But with this force comes responsibility. You must be willing to embrace change and let go of old versions of yourself. Many will hesitate, afraid of the uncertainty, but the truth is, the life you desire lies beyond hesitation. Growth is uncomfortable. It requires courage. Think of a blacksmith forging a sword. The metal must endure fire, intense pressure, and repeated strikes to take its final form. You, too, are being shaped by the forces around you. If you resist, you remain unformed, dull, and unfinished. If you embrace the fire, you emerge stronger than ever before. This Aries season is not passive, it demands action. It's about stepping up, making bold decisions, and understanding that playing it safe will no longer serve you. The universe is saying, choose your path wisely, and once you decide, there's no turning back. This is not meant to scare you, but to remind you that life moves forward, whether you are ready or not. The best thing you can do is take the reins of your destiny, trust yourself, and walk through the door that calls to you. Number 2. The Aries fire is already igniting the world. Aries season is not a quiet whisper. It's a roaring fire that sweeps through everything, demanding action, pushing people out of their comfort zones and stirring emotions that can no longer be ignored. This energy does not discriminate. Whether you follow astrology or not, you will feel it. It's the sudden rush of excitement to start something new, followed by a wave of exhaustion that makes you question everything. It's the impulsive urge to take risks, to speak your truth, to break free from what has been holding you back. And at the same time, it's the frustration of things not moving fast enough. Aries energy is raw, unfiltered, and relentless. It does not gently nudge you toward transformation, it shoves you into it. If you've been feeling more impatient, more reactive, or as if something within you is shifting, but you can't quite grasp what it is, you are not alone. The world itself is pulsing with this energy, vibrating at a higher intensity, making even the smallest of decisions feel urgent. Have you noticed how people around you seem more on edge? How conflicts rise quicker, but so does inspiration. This is the wildfire of Aries. It does not burn selectively, and it does not wait for permission. It is the energy of warriors, leaders, and pioneers, and it calls upon you to be bold, to step up, and to embrace change rather than resist it. There is an old Buddhist story about a young monk who sought enlightenment. He approached his master and asked, "How long will it take me to reach enlightenment if I meditate every day?" The master replied, 10 years. The monk, eager to reach his goal faster, asked, "What if I try even harder, meditating twice as much?" The master smiled and said, "Then it will take 20 years. The monk was puzzled. Why would more effort lead to a longer journey? The master explained, "When you chase after something too aggressively, you create tension and resistance. Enlightenment is not caught by force, it is realized by presence." This story reflects the energy of Aries season. Its fire can propel you forward, but if you let it consume you, you risk burnout. The key is to channel the fire wisely. If you feel the need to start something new, do it with intention. If you feel impulsive, pause and ask yourself, is this action aligned with my deeper purpose? Aries energy is powerful, but without direction, it can become reckless. Recognize that this fire is here to wake you up, not to destroy you. If you feel restless, see it as a sign that change is needed. If emotions are heightened, understand that they are revealing something that must be addressed. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a step back and ask, what is this energy trying to teach me? Use this time to take bold steps, but also to practice patience. The world may feel like it's moving faster, but your power comes from knowing when to act and when to pause. The lesson of Aries season is not just about charging ahead. It's about knowing where you're going. A flame without direction burns everything in its path, but a controlled fire brings warmth, light, and transformation. The energy is already here. How you use it is up to you. Number 3. Aries season demands movement. Aries season is not about waiting, hesitating, or carefully considering every detail before taking action. It is about movement. Bold, relentless, and often unexpected movement. It demands that you step forward, whether you feel ready or not. This is the energy of new beginnings, of forging ahead without second-guessing yourself, of making decisions in an instant, because deep down you already know what needs to be done. Aries does not believe in waiting for the perfect moment. It creates the moment. If you've been feeling restless, impatient, or on edge, that's because this season brings an undeniable force that refuses to let you stay where you are. It is the fire that burns away hesitation, the force that pushes you to take action even when you're uncertain. Right now, emotions are heightened and patience is in short supply. People around you may seem more reactive, more urgent, and even more unpredictable. That's because Aries is pure fire. It moves fast, burns hot, and does not apologize for its intensity. This energy isn't something to fear, it's something to harness. The universe is not asking for permission. It is telling you that the time is now. You don't need to have all the answers, and you don't need to be perfectly prepared. You just need to move. There's a Buddhist saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. But what if the teacher is life itself? What if the lesson isn't waiting for readiness, but understanding that readiness comes from taking action? Too often, we tell ourselves that we need more time, that we'll make that change when we feel ready, that we'll take that risk when everything falls into place. But Aries energy doesn't work that way. It pushes you into the fire of transformation before you feel ready. Readiness is a myth, a story we tell ourselves to delay stepping into the unknown. Think about the moments in your life when you grew the most. Were they times of comfort and ease, or were they moments when you were thrown into something new, something challenging, something that forced you to rise? Aries season is that moment. It is the warrior's call, the voice that says, now is the time, move. There is an old Zen story about a man who stood at the edge of a river, watching as the water rushed by. He wanted to cross, but he hesitated, fearing the strong currents. An old monk appeared and said, "The river does not wait. If you stand too long on this side, you will never reach the other." The man hesitated again, asking, "But what if I'm not ready?" The monk simply smiled and stepped into the water, letting the current carry him forward. Aries season is that river. You can either stand on the shore, waiting for a moment of certainty that will never come, or you can step in and trust that you will find your way. Life does not wait for you to be ready, and neither does this season. If you have been feeling a pull toward something, whether it's a new opportunity, a difficult conversation, a major change in your life, now is the time to act. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. But here's the important thing. Movement doesn't always mean recklessness. Aries energy is strong, but it does not mean running blindly into chaos. It means trusting your instincts, listening to the fire within you, and having the courage to take the first step. It means understanding that fear and excitement often feel the same in the body, and sometimes the thing you fear most is exactly what you need to do. Aries does not allow you to stay in that space. It forces your hand. It strips away excuses. It says, if not now, when? The world is moving, shifting, evolving, and you are meant to evolve with it. This is not a season to sit still. This is a season of action, of stepping into your own power, of making bold moves without waiting for validation. So ask yourself, what is the thing you've been putting off? What decision have you been avoiding? What truth have you been afraid to face? Because whether you realize it or not, this season is bringing you face to face with it. You can either resist the energy and let it create frustration and chaos in your life, or you can embrace it and let it fuel your transformation. The choice is yours. But one thing is certain, staying the same is no longer an option. Aries season has begun, and with it comes an unstoppable force. Number 4. A rare planetary shift will make this Aries season even more intense. March 30th marks a rare planetary shift that will amplify the intensity of this Aries season in a way that hasn't been seen in over 160 years. Neptune, the planet of spirituality, illusions, and subconscious dreams, is leaving Pisces and stepping into Aries, a transition that last occurred in 1861, a time marked by revolutions, societal upheaval, and the collapse of outdated systems. History does not repeat itself in identical ways, but it echoes, and we are entering a period where illusions will be burned away, beliefs will be tested, and people will be forced to take a stand for what they truly believe in. For the past 14 years, with Neptune in Pisces, we have been in an era of fluidity, where spirituality has been introspective, mystical, and often passive. It was a time of seeking guidance, of dreaming, of believing without necessarily acting. But Aries does not wait. Aries demands movement, conviction, and the courage to embody what you claim to stand for. This shift is the birth of the spiritual warrior, no more hiding behind vague beliefs or passive ideals. There is an old Buddhist teaching that says, "The truth is not always comfortable, but it will set you free." That is precisely the energy of Neptune in Aries. Comforting lies and outdated ways of thinking will no longer survive. The world is shifting rapidly, and those who cling to old illusions will find themselves lost in the flames of change. Aries doesn't allow for avoidance. It forces clarity. Aries season, combined with this rare planetary movement, is like a torch in the darkness, illuminating what has been hidden. But here's the catch. The truth it reveals may not be easy to accept. This is the season of confronting yourself, of realizing where you've been deceived, where you've deceived yourself, and where you've been afraid to take a stand. And in modern life, this shift will be seen everywhere. Politically, socially, personally, the passive era is ending, and those who refuse to adapt will struggle. This rare planetary shift is here, and Aries season is about to test your courage. No more waiting, no more hiding. It's time to step into who you truly are. What's one belief or habit you're ready to let go of? Comment, "I'm ready to release," if you're embracing this change. Number 5. The Aries solar eclipse will sever the past forever. March 29th marks a solar eclipse unlike any other. A cosmic event so powerful that it will act as a definitive severing between your past and your future. Solar eclipses are not just astronomical occurrences. They are symbolic resets, moments when the universe does not simply shift, but erases. And this is not just any eclipse. This is an Aries solar eclipse, the sign of raw action, unfiltered power, and fearless transformation. Aries is the warrior, the force that does not wait for permission, the energy that moves forward even when the path is unclear. This means that whatever is weak, stagnant, or no longer in alignment with your true self will not just be shaken, it will be burned away. If you have been holding on to something that no longer serves you, whether it's an outdated belief, a toxic relationship, or a version of yourself that you've outgrown, this eclipse will not allow you to keep it any longer. And it won't be subtle. This is not the energy of gradual change or gentle transitions. Aries does not whisper, it roars. It demands action, and it will sever the past so completely that turning back will no longer be an option. There is an old Buddhist teaching that says, "You cannot travel the path until you have become the path itself." This eclipse is that moment where you are no longer allowed to straddle two worlds, no longer permitted to remain half committed to your evolution. The past will not be accessible after this moment. Aries energy does not tolerate hesitation. If something in your life is built on a weak foundation, this eclipse will make sure it collapses. If you have been waiting for a sign, for a push, for something to force your hand, this is it. And the truth is, you already know what needs to go. You can feel it. So, what does this mean for you in practical terms? It means that things may fall apart. Relationships that are not built on truth may dissolve. Jobs that no longer inspire you may come to an abrupt end. Identities that you've attached yourself to may no longer make sense. And this may feel uncomfortable, even painful. But discomfort is not a punishment. It is a sign of growth. The caterpillar does not become a butterfly by staying comfortable. It must dissolve completely in the cocoon before emerging transformed. That is what is happening now. The old is dissolving so that the new can emerge. This is the kind of energy that makes people reclaim their lives. It's the moment when someone finally decides to walk away from what has been draining them, when they stop waiting for the perfect conditions and start living. It's the moment when you realize that the version of yourself you've been holding on to is too small for where you're going. The eclipse is not asking for permission, and it does not care if you feel ready. The past is being severed forever. The only thing left to decide is whether you will cling to what is collapsing or step forward into the fire of transformation. Because after this, there is no going back. The only way is forward. And deep down, you already know that's exactly where you're meant to go. Number 6. Your identity is about to collapse and you won't see it coming. You are standing on the edge of an identity collapse, and whether you realize it or not, everything you thought was stable is about to shift. It won't be obvious at first. You might wake up on March 29th feeling strange, like something is missing, like a part of you has quietly disappeared overnight. And in many ways it has. The version of yourself that you've held on to, the identity you've built, the beliefs you've wrapped yourself in for years, if they no longer align with where you're meant to go, they will be stripped away. This is not a slow unraveling, it's an abrupt, irreversible transformation. People you once depended on may suddenly exit your life. A job, project, or dream that once felt so important may suddenly feel meaningless. The way you saw yourself, the way you defined your purpose, even the things you thought would always be a part of your story, gone. And this is not a punishment. It is a rebirth. The universe is not asking if you're ready for change. It is forcing it upon you. You can either let go willingly or be dragged into the new reality, kicking and screaming. The Aries eclipse is not just about change. It's about burning bridges so completely that returning to the past is no longer an option. There's a Buddhist teaching that says, to be reborn, you must first die. This is the energy of Aries. It does not gently guide you into transformation. It forces you through the fire, removing everything that no longer serves your highest evolution. And while this might sound terrifying, ask yourself, how much of your life has been built on habits, relationships, or beliefs that no longer feel right? How often do we cling to old versions of ourselves simply because they are familiar, even when we know deep down that we have outgrown them? Aries does not tolerate stagnation. It will strip away the illusion of comfort and expose the truth. If something is disappearing, it was never meant to stay. But here's the real question. Will you trust this process or will you resist it? Because resistance will not stop what is coming. It will only make the transition more painful. And yes, this may feel overwhelming, even unfair. But think about the moments in your life when you truly transformed. Were they comfortable? Or did they happen in times of crisis, when life forced you to evolve? Growth has never come from staying the same. The identities we wear, the roles we play, they are just masks, and at some point they must be removed. What is happening now is not destruction. It is the necessary clearing of space for something new to emerge. The real you is beneath all the layers that are being stripped away. So, who are you when you're no longer holding on to the past? Who are you when the old labels and attachments disappear? The Aries eclipse is a reckoning, a reset, a doorway into a new reality. The only way forward is through. The collapse is coming, not to destroy you, but to set you free. Will you let it, or will you hold on to what is already crumbling? Because after this, there is no going back. Only forward. Only transformation, only the truth of who you were always meant to be. Number 7. This energy will either free you or destroy you. There is something stirring inside you, an undeniable force, a heat rising like pressure in a sealed container, waiting for release. This is the fire of Aries, an energy that does not negotiate, does not overthink, does not hesitate. Aries does not contemplate consequences, it acts. And as this energy builds, you may feel an irresistible urge to break free, to quit something that no longer fits, to start something new, to tear something down, just to watch what rises in its place. But this fire is not passive, nor is it forgiving. It does not ask whether you are ready, it simply arrives. And how you handle it will define whether this season frees you or destroys you. Because Aries energy is not inherently good or bad, it is a weapon. Used wisely, it will be the fuel that propels you into your greatest breakthroughs. Used recklessly, it will make you impulsive, reactive, destructive. You may feel a sudden compulsion to walk away from a job, end a relationship, say something you can never take back, or dive headfirst into an unplanned risk. Some of those decisions may be exactly what you need, but others may be the kind of reckless moves that burn bridges you later wish you could cross again. Aries teaches one lesson above all else. You either learn to wield this fire, or you allow it to consume you. There is an old Buddhist saying, "Master your mind, or your mind will master you." This is the essence of Aries season. The power is not in the fire itself, but in how you choose to direct it. Fire can be the source of warmth, creation, and light, or it can become destruction, chaos, and regret. When you feel the intensity rising, when your patience is thin, when your emotions are burning at their highest, pause just for a moment. Because the difference between acting from power and acting from panic is one breath. When you feel that urge to make a drastic move, ask yourself, am I acting out of strength, or am I reacting out of fear? The distinction is everything. Strength is making a decision with clarity, knowing the fire is yours to command. Panic is letting the fire control you, letting emotions override wisdom, letting temporary frustration create permanent consequences. Aries fire doesn't come with a warning label. It will push you into action whether you're aware of its force or not. That's why mastering this energy is not about suppressing it, but about channeling it with purpose. What in your life truly needs to be burned away? What have you outgrown, yet refused to release? The fire will find the weak spots. It will expose what is no longer sustainable. But if you're not careful, it will also destroy what you were meant to protect. And this isn't just about external decisions. This energy also applies within you. How often do you suppress your desires, silence your instincts, deny yourself action because of fear or doubt? Aries season does not allow you to stay stagnant. If there is something within you that has been longing for expression, this energy will demand that you acknowledge it. But expression without discipline is chaos. There is a fine line between stepping into your power and losing control, between taking a necessary risk and acting without foresight. The key to mastering Aries season is not avoiding the fire, but knowing exactly when and where to unleash it. This is a time for bold moves, for decisive action, for stepping into your true strength. But it is not a time for reckless destruction. Number 8. The universe is aligning you with the right people. The universe is aligning you with the right people, the right opportunities, and the right experiences, whether you realize it or not. This isn't random. Every encounter, every conversation, every new person crossing your path is part of something bigger than you can yet understand. Have you noticed how certain people seem to enter your life at just the right moment? how a casual introduction turns into a life-changing connection, or how a brief conversation with a stranger leaves you feeling like you are meant to hear their words. These aren't coincidences. This is alignment. Aries season, with its bold, initiating energy, is putting you exactly where you need to be, not where you think you should be, but where you truly belong. And that means some people will arrive with purpose. Some will challenge you, forcing you to grow in ways you never expected. Others will open doors you didn't even know existed, guiding you toward paths that were invisible before. And then there will be those who feel eerily familiar, like you've met them before, like you were always meant to cross paths. There is an old Buddhist saying, "When the student is ready, the teacher appears." This is the energy of Aries season, bringing you the people, the lessons, and the experiences that will shape your next chapter. Not everyone who enters your life right now will come in the form of a friend or an ally. Some will challenge you, push you, even frustrate you. They may stir something in you that you're not ready to face. And yet, these encounters are just as important as the ones that feel comforting and easy. Because growth does not come from staying comfortable. Growth comes from friction, from tension, from the moments that force you to question who you are and what you truly believe. Have you ever met someone who, in a short time, changed your perspective completely? Maybe they triggered an insecurity, tested your patience, or forced you to look at something in yourself that you've been avoiding. These people are just as much a part of your alignment as those who uplift and inspire you. Because alignment is not about making life easier, it's about making it real. It's about bringing you into full awareness of who you are and who you're becoming. So, what does this mean for you? It means paying attention. It means noticing the connections that feel electric, the interactions that linger in your mind long after they've ended. It means asking yourself, why did this person enter my life now? What are they here to teach me? Because the truth is, no one you meet right now is accidental. Even the briefest encounters hold meaning. A chance conversation could lead to a new opportunity. A disagreement could reveal something about yourself that needs healing. A new friendship could open a door you never saw coming. Aries energy does not waste time. It moves quickly, boldly, unapologetically. The people entering your life now are part of that movement. Some will stay, some will leave, but all of them serve a purpose. If someone is meant to be in your life, they will be. And if they leave, it is not a loss, it is a redirection. Let this season teach you how to trust the process. The universe is aligning you, whether you resist it or embrace it. The choice is yours. And that's it. Aries season is here and everything is shifting. If you've been feeling that fire within you, that restless energy pushing you to break free, don't ignore it. This is your moment to step into your power, to embrace change and to take action. But remember, fire can either destroy or transform. It all depends on how you wield it. March 2025 is a turning point, and the choices you make now will shape your path forward. So, are you ready? If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom. Turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos, where we continue exploring the wisdom of the universe, the energy of the cosmos, and the deeper truths guiding your life. Until next time, stay aware, stay bold, and trust the journey.